Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. This YouTube channel will be based on games that I'm playing, which right now is Call of Duty, Apex, and Overwatch. This channel will be mostly gameplays and highlights of those games and a few tutorials along the way, like this one. I'm just going to keep this short, and I hope you guys like this first video. If you could leave a like and subscribe, that would mean a lot. Thanks. Guys, this is going to be a quality and display video showing what I think are the best settings for low to mid end PCs, being on a Radeon RX 6600 and a Ryzen 5 5600 CPU. These are the settings that I found that works best for me. Starting off the full screen exclusive mode. This mode does improve FPS just slightly, but if you're going to be alt-tabbing a lot, full screen borderless works fine. There's not much else in the display to talk about for quality settings other than your display gamma. I use 2.2, but 2.4 if you have maybe a slightly better CPU or just better graphics card. On to quality. So for render resolution, you're going to want it at 100%. This is just so you don't have a pixelated screen and you get the best quality look for your game. For the upscaling or sharpening, I use Fidelity FX CAS. This works well for me because I don't have any Intel parts in my computer, nor do I have an NVIDIA graphics card. If you have an NVIDIA graphics card, I think the NVIDIA imaging scaling is best, but you could also just test it out for yourself to see which one you like more. And for the video memory scale, you have this all the way up because if you have it any lower, it can start to cause some loading issues, and your textures, they'll overlap each other or they just won't come in properly, they won't buff out. Onto the textures, texture resolution on low. Once you go from low, if you want it a little bit higher, normal, then that's fine, but there is very little difference I've seen from low to or normal to high. Texture filtering, I have this on high, so then it makes the textures just pop as much as it can. It'll use a little bit more of your GPU. If that's too much, then lower it down to normal. Low looks a little rough, but normal looks fine. Nearby level of detail and distant level of detail, I have this on high. If you see your frame rates dropping, then just put them down to low. There is no normal for this one, but I like the look of high on those. Clutter draw distance, I have this on short. It's just like rocks and various decals become more visible. You don't need this at long lengths. I feel like if you can see the rocks in front of you, to me that's perfect. Particle quality, if you have this on high, for whatever reason, it makes your game run a little bit better. Don't know why. It was like this in Modern Warfare 2019 though, so just keep it at high. Particle quality, I just leave this at low. This is a preference, doesn't affect your frames or usage in any way, so I just keep these off. Shader quality, you can have these on medium or high. There's not too much difference. I just have mine on medium because sometimes on high, if you have gold or a camo that shines, it doesn't shine, and high gives you like a weird mustard yellow look, and it's not appealing to the eye. Terrain memory, I think this is just for distance, and I think even on min, that the distance doesn't really change too much. This whole section here is just low or off. This will eat at your FPS. It'll drop down your frames. You'll stutter. I get a lot of stuttering if I have the water caustics on. The physics qualities, I just have that off because, again, it just lowers my FPS and I start to stutter quite a bit. For shadow and lighting, I just have this off or very low. The spot cache, having this on ultra and low, all it does is make me stutter. Not too bad, but it uses up a lot of RAM. Particle lighting, I just have this on low. On high, I feel like even this would just, it's bright, it's a lot on your eyes, so I would just keep this on low, even if it's not affecting your FPS or making you stutter at all. Ambient occlusion, this will eat your RAM. This eats up a ton of memory. So if you have it on both, you will probably stutter if you're on that, again, the low or mid-end PCs. I would just throw this off. If you can run it, It looks great. I think it looks nice anyway. For this area right here, this is all for reflections or space reflectance and weather grid volumes. These I just keep on low or off. Not a whole lot of FPS drop, but I'm seeing a little bit more stuttering in my game or tears in my game, so I just leave those low or off. Depth of view, I have that off. World motion view off. This normally just, it makes me sick. Weapon motion blur, again, makes me feel kind of sick, so I don't really like having that on. Film grain, if you want the to feel like you're there, I guess turn that up, but this doesn't really affect your FPS at all. I think it just makes the game. And those are the quality settings and display settings that I use on a low to mid-end PC running with a RX 6600 and a Ryzen 5 5600.